Okay guys, back for another cast on the druid. So, last time I logged out in winter spring up here, in the northern zone of the continent, and I'm currently sort of off recording. I transported myself down here to Gadsden. It's in order to complete the quest chain that started back in... Actually, I had to look it up, but back in episode 197, there was a quest where I sort of picked up a sack from a boat underwater or something like that. It's about an hour into that video in episode 197, and the initial quest was called "It's a Secret to Everybody." Part 1, you could say, because I think there's about 3 of those "It's a Secret to Everybody" quests in a row. But yeah, it's quite a while back that I did the quest, and I was in no rush to sort of really to engage in it, because there's no reputation in it. It's just, experience or gold, or I wouldn't say useless items, but close to, really, because at least they can be sold. So yeah, but enough about that. So the current situation, last time I logged out by Donovan Snowden in Winter Spring, and the continuation of the quest is Meet at the Grave. So I'm supposed to go to the graveyard outside of Gadsden and then drink the Videra elixir. Back in the day in Vanilla, you would actually die and become a ghost. And I think actually for a while here, while hardcore started, I know actually it says that you're supposed to go talk to some guy up here, but I shouldn't be able to see him before I drink the potion. I'm supposed to talk to some ghost or some guy that's dead anyway. And as you can see, I can't see anything here. Except these mobs. And I'm not a basilisk whisperer or something like that, so I'm not supposed to talk to these guys. But initially, when they started hardcore, if you drank this potion by the graveyard, you would actually die. What they've changed now is that you go down to 1 hit point. So it's kind of optimum that you check the surroundings. There's just not standing right on top of some kind of one of the local fauna. That would be rather unfortunate. So I'm just going to remove my buffs, so I'm sure that's that is not like, if I'm going down to 1 hit point and I have them buff, and there's, I don't know, if there's some kind of bug or something like that, I might risk pretty much dying. So I'm gonna drink it now, and I'm gonna be at 1 hit point, so I'm just gonna heal myself afterwards, of course. So let's go. As you can see, not every day you're down. I regenerated pretty fast here, but it's not every day like you go down to 1 hit point. And it didn't feel very nice, I tell you that much, as a hardcore character. But it's all part of the quest, and like I said, initially, I don't know in what patch they changed it, but then you would actually die, like I said, if you use this the Videra elixir here at the graveyard. I get this buff, near-death experience. Your brush with death temporarily reveals the spectral realm. Okay, so now I'm supposed to be able to see the ghost, the one that's marked up here. I hope. Yeah, he's there. No, yeah, he's there. So I'll have a chat with him. And he gave me something else. I was in a bit of a rush here because I didn't want to get aggro from this guy. Let's see. Resurrect and look for the gravestone that Ryan told you about. Okay, so he told me about some gravestone over here that I have to go investigate. That's what I'm gonna do. And I remember, I can imagine it's this one, yeah. I can remember that there was some guy that had pretty much just dinged 60. Just reading the quest here if I change. It was some gnome mage. And yeah, and then I'm supposed to deliver his sword in Goro Crater. I think that's one of the final parts here. But there was some gnome mage here just dinged 60. And he was doing this quest afterwards. And he was asking if he was dying, and then someone trolled him and said him that he wouldn't, and then he drank the potion, and then he died. So it was the guy that probably was level 60 for the shortest time possible in hardcore history.
Go forth to victory.
So off to deliver Linken's sword, and for some reason I have one extra of these Vidra elixir. I have nothing to use it for unless I wanna, I don't know, do this all over again, where I sort of get myself to 1 hit point, which I don't intend to do anytime soon again. And I think, by the way, it's change of subject here, but last time I told you about that I had obtained the recipe for purification potion. I'm gonna try use these instead. It's pretty expensive potion actually, but I can imagine it will become handy, especially when, for instance, last episode when I got the debuff for, I think it lowered my stats with 22. All stats lowered by 22 for 30 minutes or an hour or something like that. It's pretty extremely nasty disease actually. And as I can only by default cure poison, then I would have to run around with that disease for a very long time. It came from my Moonkin Bros, the NPC versions that I had to actually had to slay quite a few of. But I'm able to make the purification potion now. I've been trying to sell some, but I haven't sold any in the first 24 hours. There were 3 for sale for like 5 gold, and it's a fair price, to be honest. It sounds like a lot, but it's almost just the price of the materials. I mean, the 4 flowers and the sort of the glass itself that's included is pretty much 5 gold if you take the match price from the auction house. So, an orc rogue here to be buffed. Always people to buff, and then I'm gonna
Our ancestors be praised.
I'm gonna go talk to Linken. He's standing right there.
Honored, I'm sure.
How
Very
you doing,
well
pal?
then. Alrighty then. Off and away.
He sends me to
Very good.
talk to JD Colley. I think it's some other gnome that's standing inside the cave here. Oh. This way. Yeah, here in the Rave Techno Dome, it looks like.
Good day to you. Very well, then. You have a great day now.
So she's doing some mumbo jumbo with some crystals or something, and yeah.
Hey. Be seeing you.
Okay, so
Off and away.
off to Felwood then, and fortunately enough I got a portal to Moonglade. I actually thought I were done here, but I guess, yeah, I'm not promising anything now, but I think this is the last part of the quest chain. This portal to Moonglade is just such a gift, really. So at least I can get from, say, on the other continent where, say, Undercity is, I can get pretty fast here to this continent of Kalimdor. Or I can get, just like now, from the southern part of this continent to the northern part. All I have to do is just ride down to the fly guy, and as I've shown in previous videos, if you wanna get a freebie tour to Thunderbluff. You can talk to an NPC inside this Nighthaven city, and he will give you a free sort of ride to Thunderbluff. That's probably one of the longest flight in the game, though. It takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something like that. So, I want to go to Felwood, and it's the neighboring zone here in order to finally complete this quest. And I think it's overdue. So, pure guy here, Raven Soul, he got killed by a rotting ancestor in the Aquementas Mills. It's a pretty standard. It came here with a little delay on the add-on. It's a pretty standard quest mob, and it's if you're new to the game, it's one of sort of the nastier quests in the starting zone, because you have all the sort of your usual red flags. You have to go inside a cave, and the respawns are pretty fast, and the mobs will sort of, they won't call for help, but they are so close that if you pull one, you can easily get 1 or 2 extras, stuff like that. And typically, if you are a fairly new player, your gear will be pretty sucky at that point, so we are talking grey items, maybe 1 green or something like that, if you are, say, level 12, 13, 14, something like that. So it's a tough fight in there, especially if you haven't done the quest before. So let's see, Felwood. Oh, I'm looking at I'm looking at Darkshore. It's here. Yeah, okay. So I have to talk to a guy all the way down here. I'm gonna land up here at the sort of main Horde quest hub in Felwood. Alliance base is up there, and and the quest hub down here is sort of a Horde and Alliance. So when I land here, I'm gonna ride down here and hand in this quest, and I suppose that's the end of it. Of this quest chain, I mean. Let's see what I have left then. Dungeon, nothing I can do about right now. I haven't seen any doing Blackblood depths, or further I need to read up about this, and I don't know really when I'm gonna have time for that. Yeah, and after I found my first Black Lotus, I'm a little more keen at looking at flowers. Seems to be quite a lot here as well. So Blackblood Depths, Blackblood Mountain. I got a level 58 quest there, and yeah, sure, I can take it eventually. Do we have here Spirits of the Southwind? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do this quest either. It's in Silithus, and it depends if it awards any reputation. If it rewards any reputation with the faction down there, it's called Cenarian Circle, then it might be smarter to do what I'm doing with the Argent Dawn, meaning that you grind mobs first and then you do the quest later, in order to sort of... It may seem slower at first, grinding reputation that way, but in the end it'll be faster, because you... At some point, mobs will typically stop giving you reputation. At Argent Dawn, I think it's when you reach Revered. And it's the one I'm currently only neutral, so that's a long way to go yet. And I don't really feel like grinding multiple factions at the same time if I can avoid it. Mainly because, I don't know, it's just... Yeah, it's just a bit annoying to do, I think. It would be nice to sort of finish one faction at a time. But there could be a good reason to do so. I mean, grinding multiple factions at the same time. I don't think I'm gonna get up here, yeah.
Strength and honor.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what kind of quest I'm gonna engage next. I'll figure that out eventually. But for now, it'll just be nice to get rid of Linken's long quest chain here. It's been in my bag, his sword, for a long time, I think. Oh yeah, and the last of the Wither elixir, when I'm done here... Actually, I did get rid of the sword, I think. Okay, yeah, I'm just supposed to talk to this guy over here. And Arthur's Tears here, by the way, the flower I came by, it's nothing I'm interested in. It's sort of, to my knowledge, to sort of low, well, mid-tier potions of some kind. They didn't seem that interesting to me. Dreamfoil, Plague Bloom. And Mountain Silver Sage and naturally Black Lotus, they're all part of, you know, higher end elixirs, stuff for raiders. Yeah. Beast, you could say beast elixirs or potions, so they have interest, of course. Someone was, one of the raiders was asking for if anyone had some surplus flowers, and I actually did, but I was on another character at the moment, so I didn't really have time for it. But they can sell, that's for sure, and I can imagine they can sell for at least 1 gold, maybe 2 per a piece. These sort of higher end flowers. So, like I said before, when you reach 60, all of a sudden it's the gold is sort of pouring in.
Goddess.
Anyway, let's see what she has to say. Okay, so I have to collect some claws and some stuff. Which can pretty much be done anywhere, I think it looks like, from the local fauna. Like, say, this guy, let's try. So, I'm thinking I might as well go, you know, farm a few flowers while I'm grinding this quest. And being sort of semi-geared now as a 60, annihilating these sort of level 48 mobs, it's just... You can sort of feel now all the sort of effect of the gear is pouring in now. So, another camouflaged Plague Bloom. There we go. Maybe that I'm a bit colorblind, I don't know. I think they were a little bit hard to find. And the meat could be useful for, yeah, it could be useful for myself. For buffs, typically you get extra stamina and spirit buffs for meats like these. Say like there, they will actually give you this tender wolf meat with a soothing spices. Will give you 12 stamina and spirit, not bad. Especially if you're sort of a melee type. I'm more into the mana mana regeneration, mana per 5. So, sorry, I got one of these thingies that I need for the quest. And the icon you can see here is part of my one of my add-ons that will show me any sort of world buffs. When I engage at some point in... there's a faction up here I might want to engage as well at some point called Timbermore Hold. It's up here, sort of inside this cave as well. It could be a good idea to get engaged in a quest here in the south, but I'll get to it eventually, where you can sort of get some stuff from anything, pretty much anything you kill here in the area. It can drop some stuff that one of the druids here can make some salve from, and this salve you can eventually use to sort of obtain these buffs, and they're quite nice, these buffs. We are talking 5% spell crit and maybe 10 all stats or something like that. That's pretty nuts, and I have no doubt that the raiders are using them. I mean the sort of world buff that it is. Further, there's a timer, so if someone has picked it up recently, then you can see how when the sort of the flower will respawn, and you can use the salve on it, and you can get the buff yourself. It's a 1 hour duration, and if you choose to grind the Timbermore Hold faction, then you'll have a ton of these salves. I don't think you'll have to worry about them anymore in the game. The last of the Vidor elixir, by the way, I'm gonna throw it out when I'm done with the quest chain. I just want to make absolutely sure that I don't need it anymore, but I'm content that I don't, actually. And I'm a little too lazy to buff up really here, because I don't really know how many mobs I have to kill here, but I don't think it's that many. Yeah, and I know 5 hours later, not done with the quest yet. But the drop rate seems pretty fair, like probably like 50% or something like that so far. And I should have enough mana for one more. Especially when you get nice fat crits. So the local sort of bears and wolves will give me these silvery claws, and then the Iron Tree Heart, it drops apparently up here somewhere. It's sort of a special area with sort of, yeah, odd-looking mobs, but I'll show you when I get there. It can only drop up there, but the bears and the wolves are sort of all over the place, and that's why you have all the possible drops all the way up here, up there. Holy crap. Crit, crit, crit. No fun being bear today. And 2 more to go. I think I pretty much cleaned out the area here though. Let's see if I can cross here. Yeah, without using the bridge. I can imagine there's 3-4 wolves left over here, and yeah, that should give me the last of these sort of silvery claws. Bingo. If I had been a little smarter, I would probably wait with some of the wolves, because I might have to clear some of them. Oh, is this Arthur's Theus? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up. Mainly because I just wanna sort of off recording make sure that it is a crappy flower, but I'm pretty sure that it is. Well, everything's relative, but compared to what other flowers are in the neighborhood, it's probably a good flower for sort of leveling your alchemy, I can imagine. But the only recipe I recall was, I don't know, it had a chance to maybe inflict some curse on a mob if you put it on some kind of oil on your melee weapon. And yeah, it didn't there were so many other things you could attach to your weapon instead, so it didn't seem all that fancy to me. And 14 silver for a large bare bone, not too bad. And I remember when grinding Timbermore Reputation in sort of just when the servers came up, there was a lot of bots back then, as the server population is fairly small now. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna engage with this guy. But as the server population is fairly small now, I don't think the bot guys, they can't really make any money now, so it's a limited problem now anyway. I think it's fairly rare that I see a bot. Or something that I know is a bot, I would say. So yeah, I'm not gonna fight this guy. I'm a little interested if I can get this way though, see if there's more sort of flowers. It's not like I'm completely drifting away from my aim, which was to go up and get the final part, the Iron Tree Heart. But I feel confident now in my level and my gear that I can sort of manage myself or handle myself. I suppose it's called. So let's see. I'm not too fine to go in stealth when I can't find my flower, though. Oh man, I don't know if I'm getting colorblind. I think they're really hard to see, these plague blooms. There we go. Right in front of me, and I couldn't even see it. This one was easier for some reason. I think maybe when they're sort of part of inside the red stuff here, I got trouble seeing it. I don't feel like I'm colorblind normally. I had a colleague at work. He cannot see the difference between red and green at all. I can though. And the funny part about that, maybe not so much for him, is that we had to introduce some kind of board at work, and you have to sort of put up some marks with a touche, and these two pens, they were red and green, of course. So he was pretty cool about it. He just him and I were talking about it one day, and he said, "I can't see any of it." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, it's red and green. I can't see red and green." And he was so casual about it because he didn't care about all the sports stuff anyway, so it's kind of funny. Alright, so I'm getting close to where I'm gonna grind the last piece of for the quest. And I got a little hungry for all these flowers because I saw there was so many when I was flying down here, so you know what, I think I'll go get them. Also, it'll give you an idea probably of when all the other players on, well, I don't know if they are, but if they are at work, then as you can see, the flowers here are pretty plentiful. I don't think they're that plentiful normally when people are actually farming them. And if we are talking 1-2 gold here per flower, then as you can see, this can add up pretty fast. I'm not 100% what potions or elixirs these flowers sort of are a part of, but I know that they are high-end. Except the Arthur's... what was it? Arthur's Tears. Yeah. Alright, so... okay, so it could be one of these odd sort of tree guys here. I'm gonna try with him for starters. And what I was talking about earlier is that this is a very special area. I mean, the looks of it, I'll show you, I'll work my way down there so you can see why. So we got these sort of poison elemental thingies on my left, and they are usually grinded for... they can have a low chance to drop some high-end crafting materials. I don't recall what they're called actually. The thing that they can drop, I mean. It's these guys, toxic horrors. Bingo. So the zone is sort of yeah, it looks kind of poisoned. Or very poisoned actually. Let's see, what level are these guys? 54. I'm just gonna take a dip here in the green jelly. The goo. And just show you, as you can see, these sort of statues, they look like, you know, ancient tree men that have been poisoned or something like that. I think they're called Ents in Lord of the Rings, as you can see. So that's why I meant about that this was a sort of a very special place. Looks cool. I didn't want to fight him. If he were alive, I mean. But it's like they were attacking something and then they froze here. This might be a part of a high-end quest, I don't know. Oh. I do know that there are flowers here actually. And they will be picked. I don't know, maybe I should get some add-ons so I can see the flowers more easily. Maybe I should just use my eyes better. Okay, so back down to hand in, guys. I could make this sort of a semi let's pick some flower and do a little questing episode. So yeah, I could yeah, I'm just gonna stick here to I took all the left side up here. I can take the right side down. I feel like I'm the bot now, because that's how I felt like when there was a lot of bots here in the beginning, and Felwood here was renowned to have bots, especially Night Elf and Orc hunters, always hunters. They was just circling up and down and up and down, probably for flowers, I can imagine. And I can't say I'm a fan of bots, or people that use them for that matter. I consider it cheating. Oh, well, it is. And there's a lot of moaning about that Blizzard isn't doing anything about the problem. That may be true. I'm not that much into it. All I can say is that many players, that's sort of the most of them that I've seen when the conversation has been about bots, they sort of imply that Blizzard won't do anything about the problem because they get money from the bots. Each bot is an account that will pay a monthly fee, just like the rest of us regular players. And I can see from a business perspective that it's sort of short term it's nice to get the extra funds for Blizzard, and long term it will suck because players will start to leave when they can see that the world is completely infested with bots. Let's see if we can sneak our way through here. We could. Another Arthur's Theatre? No, thanks. Not gonna bother with it, especially not here in this bear-infested area. This little... I thought that would be aggro, but it wasn't. But, so when the conversation has been on bots, I've usually seen that, you know, people are completely demoralized and they say it's no point reporting the bots because Blizzard they don't do anything about it, etc. And that was not my experience, to be honest. Each time I reported well, not each time. That's not true at all. It's been a long time since I actually reported a bot because I haven't seen any bots in a long time. And you could say, how do you know someone is a bot? Well, the easy way back then was that suppose the guys that controls the bots, they okay, golden Samsung. I don't care for that. This flower, by the way, you have to be have some kind of positive standing with a faction in Strangleton Vale. It's the raid called Sulgurup. I think I can just show you. So on the other continent down here in Strangleton Vale, Sulgurup is this raid here. You got Booty Bay here and Grumgul Base Camp. I haven't been in there, and there are quests and decent gears. I think it's like a low-end raid. Yeah, but about the bots, how do you see if someone is a bot? So usually I can see it on their pattern. They have some weird behavior, like when I'm riding here, all of a sudden they go like they turn around like this and turn around the other way, you know, in a flick of a second without any... It doesn't make sense. Why would you change direction there? They just have this sort of unhuman behavior, like in their motion patterns. And typically another good measurement of if something is a bot, I'd say 99% of the time it's hunters, because I suppose they work best, hunters. They have so much survivability, and yeah, I think another character, say a warrior or stuff like that, they can get involved too much aggro and stuff, and then they'll die, and it'll be bad business for the bot guy. So I don't want to go too much further in there. There's a lot of hidden enemies, by the way, or mobs in stealth. I can hear them as well at the moment. But another plague bloom, nice. So that was just some of the sort of obvious facts about the bots. But how I could usually locate the bots when they were sort of at their worst, you could say, was back when the game had pretty much just launched and there was a lot of players on the servers as well. Just gotta have to check the map here. Yeah, I have to go this way. The bunters, sorry, the hunters, not the bunters, but the hunters had a... They always had a pig as a pet, and if the pig had, if the pig's name was Asian letters, I don't know if it was Chinese or just it was probably Chinese, but as I don't know Chinese, I'm not 100% sure. But it was the pig always well, the hunter itself had a sort of, I don't know, pretty regular name, Dragon Slayer 43 or something like that. No, but something pretty regular, nothing fancy really. But the pig always had this sort of Asian letter symbol name, and yeah, that's when I knew it was a bot. So usually I would just report them if I saw that on their pig, and most of the time it actually turned out to be a bot. So what you do normally is, if I find a player, I can. It's not like I'm gonna report him, of course, but I can show you how you report a player. But I need one to sort of be able to show you. So I may find a player here, and I'm just gonna show you that. And what happened other than that is that usually after maybe a couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days, maybe even a week sometime, then I would get a message from Blizzard in my mailbox that said that thank you for reporting this unusual activity or something like that. I don't remember the exact same how Blizzard phrased it, but they thank you for reporting, and they have found that there was some kind of irregularity or something like that, and action had been taken. So I assume that meant that they had sort of removed the bot from the game. Does it matter? Maybe not so much, because the guy can probably just make a lot of new bots, but at least it could be a little annoying to the guy that made the bots. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. Take the book of blah 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 to Tanaris. Okay.
May the stars guide
I'm
you.
gonna use my Hearthstone. At least it wasn't quite in Tanaris, but it was pretty close to. Oh, just a second. Oh yeah. Okay. So I have to summon some guy in Tanaris. And that's where I'm going. I had the Hearthstone still in Feralis, which is pretty close. So I'm just gonna fly to Tanaris. I actually thought this question was way shorter, but now I'm sort of determined to finish it. And a little flight trip here is pretty perfect, because I just have to bio, take a pee. So Gadgeton, here we go.
We shall meet again.
So, see you in Gadgeton in, I don't know, a couple of minutes, guys. Alrighty, I'm back. Let's see. The book is here. Okay, and I can't open it right now. So, yeah. Now that I have my bags open and something to talk about, this is stuff that I It's just my regular stuff that I need in order to thrive in the environment, meaning mana and various buffs and my mount and my fishing pole, my hearthstone, etc., etc. This is stuff that is I would have liked to have room for chicken down here, but I prefer to have around 60 mana. It's not potions. What do you call this? Mana drinks. And the best I can get is these at the moment. I think I can imagine there's some that are level 55 instead of 45, but I haven't really found them yet. I think I have to do some dungeons or something like that in order to get to them. I'm not quite sure. I should work on that probably. It would be nice if I could regenerate more mana over a 30-second drink period. This is items that are useful in some way, or cooking for food buffs, or level cooking on an alt, or flowers I can use myself, or flowers I can sell, or these items here that I'm not 100% sure if I need or not, but if I have doubts about it, I put it here. I have various other characters that I, as usual, will send stuff to. I have maybe one character where I send my foodstuffs, etc., etc. This is junk, stuff I can sell, so when I get in town, like now, I know exactly what to sell. I don't have to, be picky, or I need this or maybe that. So when I have idle time, when I'm flying here, I'm usually sort of fixing my bags, if I haven't done so already. This is quest items, and this is sort of special things, you could say. This is some of my old gear that I want to get disenchanted. Just gonna repair always when I'm by a vendor. And this is, I don't know, a reminder to myself, the purification potions, that maybe I want to make some more. If they were selling, yeah, sure. It's not that big of a money maker. There's a lot of work in it in order to make a very limited amount of gold. I have better ways to make money at the moment, so I'm not that keen on it. On the other hand, if no one were crafting them and they were going like hot bread by the baker, then I might make some more. So back to the quest, guys. It's down here. I'm gonna summon this bad boy. Just gonna see if I can open this bag now. Yeah, I can. Okay. So the bag contains 3 items. A book and... yeah, okay. The iron tree heart and the silvery claws that I grinded. So, as this is a use quest thing, I usually put it in the last slot. I always remain that for if I want to do a quest and have to use some kind of quest item, then I always put it here so I know where it is. And the reason being that sometimes you will have to do this in a limited amount of time because you just grinded your way to an area and there will be respawn soon, and you have to get the quest done before the respawns appear, yada yada yada. So in order to know where your stuff is always a good thing. There's sort of a system in it. It's not just random where I keep my stuff. Fire Bloom, the only valuable sort of potion for that is increased fire damage. I don't have any character right now that is sort of solely dependent on fire damage, so I'm not that keen on picking up the Fire Blooms. Otherwise, I probably would have taken it. Let's see what's going on. But as you can see here about the server, it's definitely not dead. A lot of people looking for other players, and yeah, it's midday here on Thursday, so yeah. And this particular quest, I had done it on my priest, so I kind of knew where it was at. And now that I'm thinking of it, I can run through by the coastline, but I can also do the sneaky way instead. I try to avoid all the local scumbags here, the pirates. And usually, I may be actually not 100% sure, but usually you can jump over here. Sometimes I've been grinding a little mage weave here. The pirates seem to be very... I could jump over here. And it's the only place you can actually get out when you're beside the main entrance. It's not true you can get out over there. The main entrance is there, but you can sort of escape this way too if needed. So, I don't recall... I don't think he was all... Well, I can take this while I'm here. Or when it's sort of presented right to my face, the fire bloom here. There we go. So, I don't think he was... I don't recall that he was that much of a bad boy. The guy I'm about to summon. But I'm supposed to summon him here in this sort of portal. And there should be plenty of possibility to run away if needed. So, let's just summon him. I might have to use this sort of arcane damage instead. Supposedly he is friendly to begin with, and then he becomes pissed because you summoned him. I'm gonna try and root him first. I probably can't though. Oh, actually could. Let's see if nature damage works on him. It actually did. Okay, then he's really... Yeah. Excuse my French. Piss easy. Down you go, bro. Okay, so apparently just by summoning him, I suppose I got the completed totem, and then I could kill him afterwards. I could maybe have run away as well. So, back to Goro Crater, I think. Yeah. The funny part is, though, I have problems sort of coming the other way. I could jump this way where I came, but hardly the other way. And I was just about to say this is actually an excellent spot for farming stone scale eel and Rex. So, two stone scale eel in no, one stone scale eel and one leaded vial. So a stone scale oil will typically sell for 1 gold. And your expense is a little time fishing here and the glass itself you have to buy. That's maybe like, I don't know, 5 silver, something like that. So it's very... Yeah, so this is part of World of Warcraft, and I usually take the wrecks too when I see them. There are typically also sort of lower pools here, like, say, I don't know, blackmouth oil, something like that. But yeah, this, just like the grinding for Argent Dawn, etc., it's so much part of World of Warcraft. You actually have to put in a little bit of effort sometimes, at least in vanilla WoW here, to get items. And since I have leveled my fishing, I think I'm capped. Yeah, fishing 300. So I might as well make use of it now when I see something that's worth $1, or I can actually use some of the cloth. These have a tendency to contain cloth. Just gonna yeah, okay. I'll get mounted first, but you can open these when you actually are mounted. But boulder room cloth useful, this leather is useful, and if you're really lucky sometimes, you can get a... Oh, why? It's like spawned all over here. Yeah, if you're really lucky, you might get a recipe or maybe even a green or a blue item. Maybe purple too, I don't know. Some of the best stuff, not the bow, but the best stuff I've found in these sort of mithril trunks is maybe a blue tailoring recipe or something like that. So a little chilly fishing here while completing Linken's extremely long quest chain. My fishing rod, by the way, is, now I had to brag a little bit, it's the best fishing rod there is in the game. It's plus 35 fishing, and it's won in the Strangleton Vale fishing contest that takes place each Sunday from 2 to, from 1400 to 1600 hours. These guys, by the way, very useful as well. I use them, as you can see, I'm carrying a stack there. If I'm sort of worried about my health in a given quest. I think I talked too much here. I didn't hear the... the catch attaching. And these potions, superior healing potions, sometimes you can find some kind of mana potions as well. They sell really, really poorly. I think maybe it's because there's so many on the auction house, people are undercutting each other like mad. So that's why I put him in sort of my garbage bag, you could say. About the pools here, they can give from, I think, 1 to 6 or something like that catches. And if your fishing level isn't high enough, I think I can imagine you need at least 225 fishing here to be successful. Then it will say on a regular basis that your catch got away. So you'll get absolutely nothing for your efforts. Let's see if we can get through here without getting too much aggro. I could. These guys are kind of nasty, by the way, especially these the swashbucklers, those in the white shirt, because they can disarm. And I can see someone is... looks like some filthy night elf. That's fine. So here is one of the lower pools, 5-fin snapper. No interest to me, but actually the 5-fin snapper combined with the not the Vitter elixir, but what I can make of the fire blooms will make you some kind of fire potion. We can investigate this while I'm fishing here. Let's see. There it is. So I got Elixir of Shadow Power, which my lock will benefit from eventually, and then I got Greater Firepower as well. Also fortified extra... what is it? Increase spell fire damage by up to 40 or shadow blah blah blah. So a little bit of different ingredients, but about sort of equally time consuming to obtain. And I think this is the last of the fishing pools, and I sort of noticed that when these sort of wrecks and the pools with stone scale oil appear, it's usually sort of like, not all of them, but maybe most of them are all of a sudden become sort of valuable pools. Then for quite a while they fall back to being sort of crappy pools, you could say, the sort of lower tier stuff. And a stack of these, they can usually sell for around 7 gold. So almost 70 silver a piece. These is pretty much equivalent as 1 gold a piece. And the crafting materials here I can just use myself on my alts. I don't know what they sell for, to be honest. As I always seem to have purpose for stuff like that. I think I've been talking too much again. And when I talk too much, I can't hear when the sort of the lure here goes off, or the bobber. That's odd. There we go. The reason why I save especially the leather is that my leather worker, my rogue, he can change thick leather to, I think it's rock leather, which is sort of the highest part of these leathers. And the rock leather can be transformed into armor kits. I think like one I have equipped, yeah, reinforced armor kit, plus 40 armor. These armor kits you can turn in by Darkmoon Fair when you reach high enough level, character level. And I don't recall how high level you have to be. But the Darkmoon Fair is sort of a traveling circus that comes around. I think it's either outside of Stormwind or outside of Thunderbluff, like once per month, I think, in real time. So it's like every 2 weeks it's Stormwind, and then 2 weeks after it's Thunderbluff, and then 2 weeks after again it'll be Stormwind again. Something like that. It's currently actually in Thunderbluff, just outside of the main city here. And what I do is, during that month, if I have excessive amounts of leather, which I will normally do, I'll just craft with all the rock leather that I have. I'll craft these armor kits, and if you turn in 8, you'll get some tickets, some Darkmoon Fair tickets, and these tickets can be turned into. Eventually, you have to grind. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to get a purple neck, an epic neck, you can actually grind. If you hand in 1,200 tickets, and that'll take quite a while, then you can get an epic neck. But I don't recall the stats of it, but it's definitely better than my warrior had us at the moment, so it'll take quite a while to grind it. And at some point before I started playing the druid here, I was playing a warrior. I still have the warrior, but I play him very rarely. I'm more into the druid now, as you probably noticed. But since I started grinding the neck on my warrior, I might as well finish the grind as well. So I'm planning to grind 1,200 tickets on my warrior. I might post eventually when I get to 1,200 and can buy the neck. I might even do the same for this guy, but it's going to take a long time. Further about Darkmoon Fair, I'm grinding. That's the auction house. There are some random cards that can drop from mobs all over the world. Some are from random mobs or can drop from a lot of mobs, and some can drop from, say, bosses only in various raids and dungeons. And there is, when you combine 8 of these cards, say from
Throw hard.
just gonna fly to Goro
Strength.
to hand in, I think, the last of these quests in this quest chain. But some of these cards you can, when you combine all 8, that means, say, ace of, I don't know, elementals, for instance, or ace of warlords or something like that, through 2 of warlords, 3 of warlords, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All these decks have 8 cards, and you have to combine, I mean, from 1 to 8. And you combine those 8 cards into a deck. So the warlords cards, like ace of warlords, 2 of warlords, and up to 8 of warlords, will become to the warlords deck. The warlords deck you can hand in by the Darkmoon Fair, and you have to be. I'm warning you. When you hand it in, make sure it's the character that actually wants the trinket, because the deck itself is BOE, meaning bind on equip. So everyone can sort of hold on to the deck, but when you use the deck, the item that you exchange by the Darkmoon Fair becomes BOP, or bind on pickup instead. So then the trinket will become, and it's all trinkets, and the trinket will become locked to that particular character. The trinkets they have a unique ability, and some of them are quite useful. I have one on my warrior actually, but he's level 57 and the trinket's level 60, so I'll have to move my behind and level him a bit more in order to engage the trinket. But due to I have so much to see to in real life at the moment, so I'm pretty much focused here on my druid. And when I just want to chill and don't talk too much, then I'm playing my warlock. That's how it is at the moment. Let's go hand in the quest, guys. Long chain. I'm pretty sure this is the last quest, but yeah, I know I've said that before. During this fairly long session here. I wasn't using my... I was too cheap to use my Elixir of Greater Intellect pot this time, so... I'm not quite sure about the time, but I think I'm well over an hour now. But it's that's typically World of Warcraft as well. Things always take longer than expected, and then you just want to do this and that extra sort of.
You have a great day now. Very well then.
So,
very good.
Final one. I think I have to go talk to Mr. Linken himself. And I actually used, talking about trinket, I actually used the one used trinket that I have. It's one I collected in the Badlands around level 40, I think, maybe 45, something, start 40s. It's a trinket where you can get a little additional run speed. And you could say, why are you using this and say speed pots as well? It's because if you use the speed pot, you have a cooldown on all potions. This is a potion, that means so if you use this and you screw this up, then you can't use your major healing potion, or there will be cooldown on your healing potion due to using the speed potion. So keep that in mind. I actually died on a warrior due to that. My
Very well then.
First warrior actually.
Alrighty then. Very good.
Okay, so it actually became kind of a nasty quest here.
Off and
I
away.
think I'm not done yet with this chain, but I can imagine this... Yeah, okay, I just said that before, but I can imagine this is the final part. I'm gonna save it for later. Maybe like make a single video about this, because it looks pretty nasty. I think it's a 56 elite, and he resides up here on the top of the mountain. So, without further ado, and with the usual lovely view over Goro Crater, I'm gonna bid you a farewell, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.